Have you ever wondered why, despite your hard work and good intentions, life seems to feel heavier, like something is holding you back? Or perhaps you felt that despite living in a well-built home, luck never seems to favor you. The truth is that certain items in your home might be silently influencing your fate in a negative way. According to Buddhist teachings and Feng Shui, every object carries its own energy, and the items we keep in our environment have a profound effect on our mental state, spiritual well-being, and financial prosperity. In this video, we explore 10 items that could be blocking your path to success and happiness, slowly draining your energy and creating an environment of stagnation. 1. A torn or worn-out wallet. In Feng Shui, the wallet is often referred to as the home of your wealth. Imagine it as a sanctuary for your money. Just as you would take care of your home, you must also care for the place where your wealth resides. A wallet that's torn or worn out is not just a sign of physical damage, but a reflection of your financial energy. Just like any home in disrepair, a damaged wallet cannot provide a stable foundation for prosperity. In Buddhist teachings, everything in the material world is impermanent. When we cling to broken or outdated things, whether it's an old wallet or an unfulfilling job, we're unknowingly holding on to energy that no longer serves us. This attachment prevents us from inviting new, positive energy into our lives. A torn wallet is not just a wallet, it is a symbol of financial depletion, insecurity, and a chaotic state of mind. You may find yourself continuing to use a damaged wallet out of habit or sentimentality, but by doing so, you're unconsciously telling the universe that you're comfortable with the state of scarcity. When your wallet is worn down, it mirrors a lack of organization in your finances, and you may find yourself making poor financial decisions or feeling insecure about your money. The decision to replace a torn wallet is more than just a purchase. It's a symbolic reset for your financial energy. By choosing a new wallet, you are choosing to open the door to fresh wealth and prosperity. This brings to mind an ancient Buddhist teaching from the Dhammapada that says, "We are what we think." All that we are arises with our thoughts. With our thoughts, we make the world. Just like how our thoughts shape our reality, our possessions reflect our state of mind. A fresh, new wallet isn't just a tool for storing money. It's a powerful act of inviting abundance into your life. 2. Thorny plants in your living space. Plants are often regarded as symbols of life, growth, and vitality. Their presence in our home can bring calm, energy, and life to our surroundings. However, not all plants carry the same energy. Thorny plants, such as cacti or roses with sharp-edged leaves, emit an energy that can be harsh and disruptive. While they might seem beautiful in appearance, their sharp, piercing energy can have a profound impact on the emotional atmosphere of your home. In the Buddhist tradition, it is believed that every living thing, including plants, carries a form of energy. The energy of a plant is reflective of how it interacts with its environment. Thorny plants disrupt this natural flow of energy, and their presence in spaces like the living room or bedroom, where harmony and connection are most needed, can create emotional unrest. Over time, they may cause tension and strain relationships, as the energy they emit disturbs the peace in the home. The story of Buddha's enlightenment beneath the Bodhi tree comes to mind, symbolizing tranquility, growth, and peace. In the same way, we should choose plants that reflect these qualities. Plants with soft, rounded leaves, such as peace lilies or jade plants, emit nurturing, calming energy that promotes balance and harmony. If you have thorny plants in your home, consider replacing them with plants that encourage positive energy flow. A well-cared-for plant can become a living symbol of growth and peace, filling your space with vitality and tranquility. Buddhist wisdom reminds us to nurture the environment that nurtures us. By tending to the plants in your home, you're not only taking care of your space, but also creating an environment that supports emotional well-being, strengthens relationships, and fosters personal growth. 3. Dried or faded artificial flowers. Flowers in Buddhist and Feng Shui practices are symbols of life, beauty, and vitality. Fresh flowers bring positive energy, signaling growth and the potential for new beginnings. However, when flowers fade or dry out, whether real or artificial, their energy shifts. What once symbolized life now reflects decay, stagnation, and the inevitable passage of time. In Buddhism, we learn that attachment to anything that is impermanent causes suffering. Holding on to dried or artificial flowers is a form of attachment to the past, a past that has already decayed and is no longer relevant. This attachment to lifeless objects blocks the natural flow of energy, causing stagnation and preventing new opportunities from coming into your life. The longer you keep dried flowers in your home, the more you invite a sense of emotional heaviness, pulling you into a state of stagnation. The Dhammapada also teaches, with our thoughts, we create our world. This concept applies to the physical world we create around us. Keeping dried flowers as sentimental keepsakes can remind you of moments that are no longer alive, keeping you emotionally stuck. Instead of holding on to lifeless flowers, embrace the freshness of new life. Whether that means replacing dried flowers with fresh blooms or letting go of objects that no longer serve you. A Buddhist proverb advises, let go of what no longer serves you. By clearing out old, faded items, we make space for fresh energy to enter our lives. Just as flowers bloom and fade, so too do the seasons of our lives. To invite growth and transformation, let go of the past and embrace the vitality of the present moment. 4. An old, worn-out broom. In many cultures, the broom is much more than just a tool for cleaning. It is seen as a symbol of clearing away negative energy and bringing new vitality into the space. When you sweep the floor, you're not only removing dust and dirt, but also sweeping away the stagnant, heavy energy that may be lingering in your home. However, when a broom becomes old, worn out, or damaged, it loses its ability to fulfill this sacred purpose. Instead of cleansing, it spreads dust and negativity, dragging the energy down and making the space feel heavier. Buddhist teachings emphasize the importance of impermanence, the idea that everything in life is constantly changing. An old broom, much like anything else that no longer serves its purpose, is a reminder that we too must let go of what no longer brings value to our lives. Just as the broom has worn out, so too have our attachments to outdated beliefs, habits, and material possessions. Holding on to them only keeps us stuck in the past, preventing us from fully embracing the present and the opportunities for growth that lie ahead. There is an ancient Zen story that beautifully illustrates this concept. A young monk approached his master and asked, "Master, how can I find peace?" The master took him to the temple's broom and said, "Take this broom and sweep the floor until your mind is clear." The young monk hesitated but then started sweeping. Hours passed and he noticed that the more he swept, the clearer his mind became. The physical act of clearing the space helped him clear his thoughts. Eventually, the master turned to him and said, "When the broom is no longer needed, it is discarded. Just like your thoughts, they should come and go freely, without attachment." The broom symbolizes the importance of cleansing, both physically and spiritually. When your broom starts to wear out, it's time to let go of what no longer serves you. Replacing an old broom with a new one is a simple yet powerful act of refreshing your environment. It signals a new beginning, inviting positive energy to flow freely and bringing balance into your space. A clean broom not only sweeps away the dust, but it also helps sweep away the emotional clutter that has accumulated, giving you the space you need to move forward with clarity and purpose. 5. An empty rocking chair. A rocking chair, when used intentionally, is a symbol of movement, connection, and life. Its gentle rocking evokes the flow of energy, encouraging relaxation, rest, and contemplation. However, when a rocking chair is left empty and unused, it becomes a symbol of stagnation, isolation, and emotional void. The rocking chair, once a symbol of warmth and connection, now stands as an invitation for negative energy to settle in. Buddhist philosophy teaches that life is about balance and interconnectedness. Just as the rocking chair moves back and forth, so too does life move through cycles of change. But when this movement stops, when the chair is left empty, it evokes feelings of stillness and isolation. The energy in the home becomes stagnant, and people may begin to feel disconnected from one another. This subtle energy shift can affect the relationships in your household, causing misunderstandings, emotional distance, or a sense of loneliness. There's an old Buddhist saying, "When one door closes, another opens." In the same way, when we leave something empty, we are unknowingly inviting that void to manifest in other areas of our lives. An empty rocking chair, quietly sitting in the corner, can symbolize an emotional gap that no one dares to fill. It serves as a silent reminder of the absence of connection or the lingering presence of past emotions. Consider this story from the Lotus Sutra. A woman who had been separated from her husband for many years finally returned to her home, where she found a chair that had not been used since he left. The chair, empty for so long, was a symbol of the space that had not been filled in her life. As she sat in the chair, she realized that the emptiness she had felt was not just the absence of her husband, but the absence of love, forgiveness, and closure. The chair became a reminder that life must keep moving forward, just as the rocking chair must continue its rhythm to bring warmth and connection. If you have a rocking chair in your home, ask yourself, is it a symbol of warmth, relaxation, and connection? Or does it evoke feelings of emptiness and loneliness? If the chair sits unused, consider moving it to a private space or using it with intention. You can restore balance and positive energy by consciously choosing to fill the chair with meaningful interactions, relaxation, or moments of connection with loved ones. An empty chair, like an empty heart, can be a sign of isolation. But when filled with purpose, it becomes a source of comfort, movement, and vitality. 6. Rusty or stained objects. Rust and stains are often overlooked in our homes, yet they hold a significant meaning in many spiritual traditions. Rust on metal, for instance, symbolizes decay, erosion, and stagnation. It's not just a physical issue. It is a powerful metaphor for energy that has deteriorated, for something that was once vibrant and functional but has now fallen into decline. The same applies to stained objects, whether it's a once beautiful piece of furniture or a cherished possession that has now lost its luster. These items are not just unattractive. They carry with them the energy of decline. In Buddhism, everything is interconnected and in a constant state of change. The Buddhist concept of impermanence teaches us that nothing stays the same forever, and yet we often hold on to things that are worn out or broken, subconsciously attaching ourselves to their past energy. Rusty or stained objects, therefore, can hold us back in a similar way. They represent an attachment to something that no longer serves its purpose, preventing us from moving forward and embracing new opportunities. There is an ancient story from the Dhammapada that beautifully illustrates this point. A young man was walking through the forest when he encountered an old, wise monk sitting under a tree. The monk noticed the young man's heavy heart and asked him, "Why are you so troubled, my son?" the young man replied. "I feel burdened by everything I have. My old possessions, my responsibilities, my life. I can't seem to find peace." The monk smiled and gestured to the leaves on the ground. "Pick up a leaf," he said. "Look at it closely." The young man picked up a dry leaf, and the monk continued. "Now imagine this leaf as your attachment. It is not alive anymore. It is no longer part of the tree. Holding on to it only weighs you down. Let it go, and you will feel lighter." Just as the young man needed to release the leaf, we too must release items in our home that no longer serve us. When we let go of rusty or stained objects, we not only clear the clutter, but also open up space for new, positive energy to flow freely. Replacing or restoring these items symbolizes the restoration of energy, bringing life back into the spaces that matter most. When you clear out the old, worn-out items, you make room for new growth and opportunities, just as nature does with each season. In doing so, you restore the flow of positive energy, bringing fresh vitality and inspiration into your home and your life. 7. Broken or flickering lights. Light has long been associated with life, hope, and clarity. It's a universal symbol of wisdom and guidance in many spiritual traditions. In Buddhism, light is seen as a symbol of enlightenment, a representation of clarity and the truth that illuminates our path. When lights in your home flicker or break, it's more than just an inconvenience. It symbolizes a loss of direction and clarity. The flickering light disrupts the flow of energy and causes instability in the environment. Just as light represents wisdom and clarity, darkness represents confusion and uncertainty. A room with broken or flickering lights can create an atmosphere of unease, making it difficult to focus and think clearly. The Buddha's teachings on the nature of the mind reflect this concept. He taught that our minds can be clouded by desire, anger, and ignorance, just as a dim or flickering light makes it hard to see clearly. In the Dhammapada, it says, "Just as a lamp lights up the darkness, wisdom lights up the mind." When the lights in your home flicker or fail, it can be a metaphor for the fog that often clouds our judgment and emotions. It's a subtle sign that perhaps we need to reestablish balance and clarity in our lives. There's a story from ancient Buddhist teachings about a monk who was traveling through the countryside. As he arrived at a temple, the only light came from a small candle flickering in the wind. The monk sat quietly in front of it and meditated, focusing on the fragile light. Eventually, he realized that just as the candle's light needed protection from the wind to burn brightly, so too did his mind need to be shielded from the distractions of the world to maintain clarity. The light, though small, was a symbol of mindfulness, the very thing that could guide him through the darkest of times. In our homes, when lights flicker or break, it may be a sign that we need to restore our focus, clarity, and inner peace. Fixing broken lights is more than just a practical solution. It's a spiritual one. It's a way of restoring the flow of energy and inviting stability back into your life. Just as light illuminates the path, a stable light in your home will allow you to see more clearly, guiding you to make better decisions and regain focus. When we replace broken lights or restore flickering ones, we're also clearing the fog in our own minds, removing distractions and creating an environment that encourages peace, concentration, and direction. This simple act of restoring clarity can have a profound effect on how we feel and how we move through the world. 8. Sad or lonely artwork. Artwork in your home holds far more significance than just being a visual element. In many spiritual traditions, including Buddhism, art is considered to carry deep emotional and energetic significance. It has the power to uplift or drain, to inspire or depress, depending on what it depicts. When you choose artwork that portrays sadness, loneliness, or darkness, you are inviting those very emotions into your space. Over time, these feelings can subtly influence your mental state, lowering your energy and creating emotional stagnation. In Buddhist teachings, we are reminded that attachment to suffering or negativity can cloud our minds and prevent us from experiencing true peace. The Buddha spoke of the importance of right mindfulness, advising us to be conscious of what we allow into our hearts and minds. What we think, we become, he said. When we surround ourselves with art that reflects sorrow or isolation, we risk internalizing those emotions and carrying them with us throughout the day. There's a story from ancient Buddhist teachings that illustrates this concept. A monk was walking through the forest when he came upon a beautiful yet haunting painting of a lonely figure sitting in a dark room. The monk gazed at it for a while, and then he heard the sound of the wind rustling the trees. He realized that just as the wind changes and moves freely, so must our minds. He turned away from the painting and reflected, just as the wind is free, my mind must be free from sorrow. To be truly enlightened, one must not dwell in the darkness. This story teaches us that art should inspire us to move toward light, not trap us in shadows. Art depicting joy, life, harmony, and peace can elevate the energy of a room and inspire positive emotions. It can remind us of the beauty of the present moment, the vitality of life, and the potential for growth. When selecting artwork for your home, choose pieces that reflect your aspirations, your positive intentions, and the peace you wish to cultivate in your life. Just as the Buddha taught, we must choose to nourish our minds with uplifting thoughts, and in the same way, we must choose art that nourishes our emotional well-being. 9. Old, saggy pillows. Pillows are intimately connected with rest, rejuvenation, and emotional well-being. When you rest your head on a pillow, it is a symbol of surrender, of letting go of the day's stress and trusting in the restorative power of sleep. However, when pillows become old and saggy, they no longer provide the support necessary for a good night's sleep. Poor sleep affects your physical health, mental clarity, and emotional resilience, and it creates a ripple effect on all areas of your life. In Buddhist teachings, rest is seen as an important part of maintaining balance in life. The Buddha himself encouraged his followers to find moments of peace and rest so they could rejuvenate both body and mind. Just as a tired mind struggles to find clarity, a tired body struggles to find strength. Quality sleep allows the body to heal, the mind to refresh, and the spirit to rejuvenate. Without it, we risk becoming physically and mentally exhausted, which can make us more vulnerable to stress, negativity, and imbalance. There's a story of a monk who, after traveling a great distance, sought refuge in a village temple. When he arrived, he found a simple pillow awaiting him. It was old and worn, and he could feel the sag in its softness. But instead of complaining, he accepted the pillow with gratitude, reflecting on the impermanence of all things. He meditated and allowed his tired body to rest, realizing that true rest comes not from perfect conditions, but from the acceptance of the present moment. This story teaches us that even our rest should be mindful and intentional. An old, saggy pillow, much like a cluttered mind, is a symbol of something that no longer serves its purpose. Just as we clear our minds through meditation, we can restore our energy by replacing or refreshing the items that support our well-being. A new supportive pillow symbolizes the renewal of energy, inviting the flow of positive, restorative energy into our lives, helping us sleep better and recharge for the day ahead. 10. A stopped clock. A clock is not just a tool for keeping time, it is a powerful symbol of the flow of life itself. Time in Buddhist philosophy is seen as a continuous cycle, an endless, flowing river that moves forward whether we are aware of it or not. A stopped clock, therefore, represents stagnation. It symbolizes a break in the natural rhythm of life, a pause in the flow of energy, and a feeling of being stuck. In Buddhist teachings, we are constantly reminded of the impermanence of life, Time, like all things, is constantly in motion. The Buddha taught that attachment to the past or fear of the future can prevent us from experiencing the present moment fully. A stop clock can serve as a silent reminder that we are holding on to something that has already passed, or that we are not fully embracing the flow of life as it is. Just as the clock's hands should move freely, so should our minds remain open, embracing the passage of time without attachment. There's a beautiful Buddhist story about a monk who once sat by a river and watched the flowing water. He asked an elderly man, "Why does the river flow so effortlessly?" The man replied, "Because it does not resist. It simply moves without fear or hesitation because it knows its purpose." In the same way, life moves forward, whether we resist or not. A stop clock is a subtle metaphor for resistance, resisting time, change, and growth. To restore momentum in your life, replace a broken or stopped clock. Allow time to flow freely once again. Just as the hands of a clock are meant to move, so too must we move with the rhythm of life. A working clock is not just a reminder of time, it is a symbol of progress, of moving forward, of living in the present moment. When we embrace the natural flow of time, we restore clarity, purpose, and direction in our lives. Our homes are powerful environments that shape our energy and influence our lives in profound ways. By clearing out objects that carry negative energy, we can create a space that fosters prosperity, happiness, and well-being. Take a moment to reflect on your surroundings and identify any items that may be holding you back. Let go of the past and make room for new positive energy to flow into your life. As you begin this journey of transformation, remember that sometimes a small change is all it takes to shift your entire destiny. If this message resonates with you, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment affirming your commitment to positive change. Let's continue to unlock the wisdom of life together, one step at a time.